afternoon, whatever time you will be joining this live stream that is unexpected and late night. But let me tell you, the message I have for you today is urgent, and I just want to share it with you because I'm trying to help one of my subscribers. It seems to that we have more ladies lately signing up, and I got a cry for help today, and that's why I'm making this unexpected video. I just need 1 minute to make sure that everything is going well. Okay, all right. Hi everybody, I hope that you can hear me. So today's topic is, who knows what today's topic is? Desperate foreign housewives in US, or she is not your slave. That's a topic that I want to address today. I want to tell you guys I'm not feeling too well today, so keep that in the consideration. Hi everyone. Привет, Танюша. Привет. Hi everybody. Welcome. I was not honestly planning going live today. I'm having some kind of cold, so not exactly feeling like the best timing, but there is never the best timing. And somebody just sent me an email with a cry for help. So let's talk about this, and maybe this video will help and inspire this young lady to convey her needs to her husband. So today's topic, we're going to talk about housewives, about ladies who are supposedly having it really good. Somebody who is married, who has ladies that does not have to worry about mortgage payments, about bill payments. She can raise her child or children. She doesn't have to worry about going to work, a slave at work, right? Neglect her children. But is there a downside, or sometimes how can femininity sometimes be used against us? So I want to share this with you tonight, and I truly hope that the lady, if you're gonna call her Natalia, I hope that it will be helpful to her, and maybe she will have a good conversation with her husband. So once again, from one perspective, being a housewife, when you have stable home, you have everything is paid for, you can enjoy your children, you can see them grow, see them saying first words. It's just, there is nothing like that. There is truly nothing like that, especially for a woman. I feel that as women, we are so attached to our children when they are that young, that we are literally one with them. So that is a beautiful side of it, that when you have your supporter, you have father of your children, your husband that provides everything. I mean, it's really a dream come true, especially for us Eastern European ladies, or maybe ladies from other countries where sometimes men are kind of unstable and they like to uh, fool around. I think Tanya can confirm that in our Eastern European countries, a lot of times women do not have this peace to be a homemaker and just be enjoying it. Sometimes your husband comes home drunk, sometimes he doesn't come for a week, sometimes he's out and about, and it's really sad and embarrassing because he's out there chasing other women, and here you are with kids. In the United States, most ladies that actually, we're talking about foreign housewives today, but it could be anybody, okay, for today's topic. But I feel, from my observation, a lot of ladies who move to the United States, one thing they are moving for is peace of mind, that they can just uh, fulfill their role, their desire, and enjoy peace and quiet life. Sometimes it's too quiet because a lot of us living in the country, but for a lot of ladies from Eastern Europe and maybe some other countries, once again, where men are not often so faithful and committed, it's kind of a paradise, to just have calm, peaceful life, and enjoy it. Now, not everybody is, this is generalization, not everybody has it. But today we're going to talk about, once again, the other side of it. What comes with being a housewife, and when all of the power, all of the decision making is in your husband's hands. And some husbands go a little bit too far. And that is our topic today. We're going to be talking about some husbands and going a little bit too far. Doesn't make them necessarily, bad people, but they feel that somehow they need to control a woman to real, um, really over the top, really beyond logic. So once again, I'm coming so late tonight because I'm responding to somebody that I felt could not wait. So please forgive me for my occasional sneezing because this may happen in a live stream. Um, I have some summer cold, but we're gonna push through. So long story short, I had a cry for help from a lady that mentioned that she actually does have a very happy life. She is also, she's from Eastern European country, not exactly from Ukraine, but she's from Eastern European country. She has a really good marriage, was very stable, very respectful, great guy overall, and it sounds like they have a really good life, but she has everything and she has nothing at the same time. Does it make any sense? I don't think it does, but I will explain. She has nothing, I mean, she has everything and she has nothing at the same time. So, what do I mean by this? What I mean by this is that with staying home and having her husband, managing, being a provider, a breadwinner, so to speak, of the family, she has two children with him, and they're small, 2 and 5, um, rather small. So having him as a main provider, protector, it also gave him all of the power, taking decisions to the point of when she can and cannot leave the house. So he lets her, she can only leave the house while he is working, and she can only leave the house with her children, and especially the 2-year old is pretty wild. And she ends up usually staying home because it's not that easy to manage. Sometimes they get on the terrible twos. It's not very easy to chase after two children when we go outside. um Man, I remember the time, chasing a 2-year old at the parking lot. That was the scariest thing I've ever done because, cars cannot always see somebody so little running around. Other words, you can do things, you can take a child to the library, to play groups, to the parks, but, when you become a wife and a mother, it doesn't mean that you are officially, given the right of ever being a social person. It doesn't mean that officially you are giving up the right to have any space for yourself as a person, as a human being. And I think um that's one of the main reasons why very often in early childhood there is so much conflict in a relationship, because this was not agreed upon. So long story short, in her situation, she cannot, there is no such a thing as ever seeing her friends or girlfriends or dinners or lunches together with her friends, unless she can manage to meet somebody, before 3 p.m., which a lot of ladies that she knows are working or, having their own, they're busy with their children, and they can meet after their husband get home. But she does not get the luxury of, going out, even such frivolous thing as, going to the gym or going to shop or going to a coffee shop or going to the library. So basically, it's almost it's it's almost like you are, I would not say in jail, because these are your own children, right? And it's really a privilege and happiness to be with your children. And that's the reason why I'm making this video. I want to kind of give an idea to those of you who are waiting for your for your future wife, or you are in the process of it. You have to understand that even though we love being mothers, feminine women, not just from Eastern Europe and all over the world, we love being mothers. Most of us do. It's our instinct, but it doesn't mean that we have to completely abandon who we are, and we do not have the right to just do normal human activities such as socializing, maybe even studying something, being part of some social circle. And everybody is different. Some ladies are more introverted, some are more extroverted. you it's really incredible. It could be so beneficial to talk about these things beforehand, just so to know what to expect. What's the not the what the rules are, but basically these are the rules in this case. So we need to remember, as women, we need to remember that our men also sometimes need to kick back and meet with their friends or do their hobbies. When we meet somebody, we meet them full of life and full of joy because they're single, or they don't have any problems that we had created for them. You know what I mean? So we meet somebody when they are in their environment, they live in their lives, they have their hobbies, their friends, and then when we come into their life, we basically replacing all of it. And I don't necessarily think that we should sacrifice absolutely everything. There is definitely, in the first couple of years when you have a newborn, you just have to adjust to their schedule. But it doesn't mean that you can never go for dates again, doesn't mean you can never see your friends again, never travel again, never study again, never do anything that makes you that person that they have met prior, right? If we're talking about ladies, one of my subscribers, John, on my latest video, he said, yeah, my fiance told me if she doesn't have anything to do, some work, some activities, she will literally, she said, she will eat my brain with a teaspoon. We have this expression in Russian: I will eat your brain with a teaspoon, right? So we have to think about those things. And housewives and homemakers and homestay mom does not have to be desperate, and they cannot be a slave. We are living in times where we do have, if we just put some creativity and some mind to it, we can let everybody have their own space. Even a newborn needs his own space. Sometimes they need to cry on their own, sometimes they need to um have time with themselves and learn how to soothe themselves. So, long story short, that is one of the issues that I was shared, the issue in a marriage, and I only could recommend just to have a conversation, or go to a counselor, somebody who can put both of you and you can talk about it. Because the problem is that when you don't give somebody space, doesn't matter how much that person loves you, at some point they will start to secretly uh, and openly despise you and resent you, and maybe somewhat even hate you. I know hate is a strong word, but I can tell you that uh, love should not take your freedom. Family should not take absolutely 100% of your time every day. So that is something that should be addressed and should be I believe with the right approach she could make a good point, and I hope that her husband will hear her, because otherwise they really have a lot. They have a lot to lose. They have wonderful home, beautiful children, they have good relationships and all. But once again, ladies from Ukraine, they often dream to, for example, from Eastern Europe, they dream to meet a man that can be respectful and can just understand that they're also human. We actually have a joke in Russia and in Ukraine that the woman is also human. And sometimes they joke that no, the woman is not a human. We have those jokes, but jokes apart, um you have to have your space to not to go crazy, and men will understand that the best, because you guys know when you don't have your space at all, you go insane. As women, we are more capable to deal with screaming, with crying, but sometimes we do need, for our mental health, we do need to talk to other adults, especially home stay mom. We need to talk to other adults, we need to talk to other human beings, and we need to socialize, because you do not want us feel controlled, but also you do not want us to degrade. When somebody stays home, they stop dressing up, stop showering, like we just had this thing going on for a year. How many people had lost their face? They start eating and drinking and just being mindless. Well, when you're a mom, you don't have that luxury, but you can really go kind of downhill when you have nobody to talk to. And especially if you're talking about foreign housewives, definitely means that um, your family, your entire family is overseas. It means that your husband is your entire world, but you are trying to create a world of your own as well. You're trying to make friendships. You have to be able to socialize. So don't take that freedom, please, ladies and gentlemen. Don't let that freedom be taken away, and don't you can never make somebody truly love you if you just hold them by the neck, if you don't give them breaks. One of the most important things in love, what I'm learning, is no matter how you love somebody, is to give people breaks. Let people breathe without you. Just trust that it's okay. They made it without you, they're gonna make it with you. Just give them a break, let them rest from you. So that's number one. Number two is very important issue and point as well, since very often the husbands are the only ones, at least for a while, who bring the money, the financial part. Sometimes control comes there, and this was the case as well. So um no matter what she wants to do, whether she wants to do her nails, or she wants to go and just buy a book, do just do something, not necessarily um super frivolous and super extravagant, just something nice, to treat yourself a little bit. Everything is expensive. Everything. Oh, that's too expensive. Oh no, that's too much. We couldn't do this. And your husband is doing well financially. I mean, over, I would say, um on a decent level, on a normal decent level, um for American standard at least. So they're definitely not struggling. And she said one time her girlfriend offered her to go for a little vacation, and she said, well, I can't go because I don't have my own money. And her friend offered her, well, I'll pay for you, let's just go for a couple of days, take the kids, stay in a hotel, just enjoy something, just to get away. And her husband said, no, we cannot accept somebody paying for your hotel, but I will not pay for it because it's too expensive. So they never really take vacations, they never do things that not necessarily you will die without them, but they will make that make like that make life sweeter, that makes life fun, that most single people can allow themselves to do, right? So anyway, I'm gonna read some of your comments, guys, just a second. I'm gonna read some of your comments. Thank you so much for joining and sharing your thoughts. I just want to share this with you because it's possible to resolve this, and I think it's important to understand both parties in this situation. So, gentlemen, if you want your wife to be a home stay mom, you do have to have some kind of budget. Because even though you think that she's not working, but if you would have hired a babysitter 24/7 for your children, a clean house cleaner, housekeeper, house cleaner, and somebody who will prepare the meals, it would cost something. It would cost a pretty significant amount of money. But not even that, she's doing the most important mission. She's raising her children, and most women take it don't take it lightly. They really, if you stay home, you might as well do it right. You might as well give your time, give your love, and that is foundation. That is an investment in the child. So if you cannot afford it, you have to be honest from the beginning. Don't tell a lady that you can provide good life for her, but when she will need to go to a spa, or she needs to go get herself some new clothes, just some normal things, you going to make you feel guilty, and you're going to say, oh, we can't do this, you cannot do that. If you're gonna be doing these things, then you have to be honest, and you gotta tell her, listen, you can stay home for 6 months, and we won't be able to purchase, we're gonna be living on the bare minimum. She may still want to have family and children so much that she won't care. But when you say, oh, it's gonna be fine, I got you, and then every single thing she wants is expensive, whether it's a couple of dollars, couple hundreds of dollars, it's super, no matter what it is, it's expensive, you don't want to do that. You have to be, you have to think about what impact it's gonna create, and how unfair that really is. It's like you got all the power. She cannot go and see nobody. She cannot, like, she's literally a prisoner, even though it's a labor of love. So you have to be real about it as a guy, and realizing that she's not your slave, and she deserves to have some little things that she can get away from just only being a mother, and have a little bit of, I'm still a woman, I'm still a woman, I'm still a beautiful woman, I'm still, I still exist. Because when we become mothers, sometimes we truly forget that we exist. We are so much attached to the children, to our children, that we forget that we exist. Well, oh, I exist, really? Great. I exist. Wow. And I want to say it's a beautiful thing. It's, once again, it's a privilege, it's a labor of love. But um if you're going to make her feel guilty, and going to tell her no, by no meaning, do not say yes for everything. But if you say no for everything, um and if you guilt her, if she gets herself something nice, you guilt her, you might as well um let her work. So she can have some freedom, so she can uh you know so she can go out and she can do something, that she does not lose her completely. Because let me tell you, when the woman loses her completely as a person, you will forget how and when you fell in love with her. When she will lose her personality, she will forget who she is. It's like, when you drink instant tea or instant coffee, you put it in the water, and it's like the instant tea and instant coffee pretty much is, it's just dissolves. And when she dissolves, it's gonna be really sad. Not only the conflicts you may have, but she's gonna lose her spark, her personality. And we losing our spark sometimes just because we are tired. When you have to do all the childcare, you just get tired. And it doesn't matter if you have one child or three or five or seven. It's you just it's It's most incredible and most rewarding work in some ways, but in other ways it can be very painful sometimes, because unfortunately people do not realize, nobody see your struggles, when they're not home. They don't know what you're going through, um unless one of the kids gets sick, and then when dad stays with him for entire day, and you come back home and he's like, oh my god, I don't know how you do this. Not to make drama. I believe that when you have true connection in a family, people can figure things out. So I wasn't really given any advice except for connecting and talking and just being, not making drama, but just having a conversation. And honestly, in this case, if your husband does not, if he's providing the, all the big payments, all the big things, but he does not let you to have a treat, um, if you still want to be with him and he's, great and everything else, uh, as far as I understand, that's the case. You just have to go to work. It's gonna be fun. It's kind of, when the only source of validation you have is your husband and your child. Your child is little, your husband is busy. It's also a way where for many women to become very depressed, and their self-esteem takes a hit, because that day your husband may not want to talk to her. She doesn't have anybody else to talk to. And when it happens day after day after day, you give love and you sometimes don't like get it back. And um when you don't have any other sources of validation, and you go into a vulnerable time, you will you may get on a negative mental spiral. I just want to say this. Thank you so much for the super chat. And thank you guys. I'm gonna read some of your comments. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you for your kind words. All due respect to the marriage, in this case, the husband sounds controlling and a bit chauvinistic. Yeah, I honestly think so too, Bill. Thank you again for thank you for the support. And I agree, but she didn't ask about my opinion. And the thing is, um when you are in something, you cannot see it when you in it. And I also thought that it was just beyond. It's like, um it's I felt like, wow, you are a slave. I didn't say that, but it felt like it, because you can't leave, you can't go anywhere, you cannot. You basically, it's like you are in at a lockdown at all times. This is just not right. And guys, for those of you who want to have a foreign wife, please don't think that you can bring a housemate or like a babysitter. It's all human beings deserve respect and deserve to have just a normal human experiences, right? Because um we need that, right? All of us deserve some, we need some space. We need to be able to be social. Women are usually very reasonable overall, especially those who truly love being mothers. We don't crave to party or do something stupid like this. We just want to see, just breathe, just explore a little bit, do some things, right? And when we can fill up our cup, everybody else gonna be, it's gonna be good for everybody else. So yeah, I agree. It's a little bit chauvinistic for sure, and it's very controlling. And the thing is, otherwise, this girl, she was married before, and her husband, thank you, her husband was, he was drinking, he was never home. And this guy is very positive, he provides, he pays all the big bills, he is very smart. He's they have two children together, and he is really positive, except for this obsessive control and also obsessive worry about the money. I don't really think that he is a, that it's not necessarily a question of being petty or greedy, so to speak. But I think he's obsessed that, with all that's going on in the world right now, is that, we should be saving and not doing anything else, kind of obsession. Some people spend everything and they cannot buy, they cannot put rub two pennies together till their next paycheck. And some people are on the other spectrum. So I truly pray that she could possibly find a way out of this situation. I'm making this video, she actually, we're gonna have our own consultation, and I have an ideas how she can approach it, because if she approach it in the Eastern European way, they're gonna have a big fight. But living here in US, I kind of do know how to how to word things and what points to make to not the other person feel, to not make it a personal attack or useless scandal, but show and share your points, um, explain where you come from, and talk about some solutions. You can always break something, you can always leave something, but and this is a difficult situation, but probably the best thing that she could do is to probably start working so she can get out of the house. Maybe not even full time, so she can get out of the house sometime just to see other people and do something, and also have some pocket money. It doesn't have to be like a super high paid job, which is it wouldn't be probably, but just to having some pocket money so you don't feel guilty, getting yourself a new dress or a lipstick, or buying a gym membership or whatever else she wants to do. But to me, that was kind of extreme. I had a friend, um actually I do have a friend, and his brother has a wife from, she's from Philippines. And boy, if we're talking about slavery, that is would be the case. So one time we were at dinner, and his wife is she's from, once again, she's from Philippines. She's been in US for probably about 5 to 6 years, maybe 7. She does not have a driver's license. He does not let her get a driver's license. She's taking care of 2 kids. She can, I don't know how, her English level is not the greatest, but she doesn't have driver's license. She not does not have a car. She not allowed to do anything. So if she needs to get anything done, she uses this. She puts kids in the stroller and she strolls. I mean, talking about control, my dear friends, if you think that you're gonna bring a wife from Eastern Europe or Philippines or anywhere else and she's gonna be your slave, one day she's gonna be fed up to the point when bad things will happen. So do not, just because you may have some power, do not abuse somebody. How you treat somebody, um, who is, um, not below you in a sense of worth, but who depends on you, how you treat them on public and behind the closed doors, that's who you truly are. So if you think that you can dominate like this over a human being, and that human being is raising your children, the woman that is suppressed, that is controlled, I don't think she uh can truly be who she can be in these conditions, right? One day it's gonna backfire. I can guarantee you that it will backfire. But coming back to the Filipino lady, so yeah, she is. If this lady has a driver's license, the one from Eastern Europe, she has driver's license, she has a car, but it's hard for her to go anywhere due to restrictions that her husband put on her life. She's not allowed, once again, to do any activities or anything like this without the kids, and when he's home she needs to be home. um It's almost like we are back to 50s, even though in 50s I think you can go shopping without your child. Guys, if you want to know how is to shop with 2-year-old, lend a 2-year-old from your family or your neighbors and try to go shopping with a 2-year-old, and then let me know how that went. It usually does not go very well. Anyway, that's a side note. Anyway, love should be, love in a relationship should give people space, because when we have space we have time to replenish, we have time to have other experiences that we can share with you about these experiences, and it can be life can be so much more fun. So in the case of the Filipino lady, I thought that was just total abuse. I told to my friend, "Your brother is an abuser. That is insane." She was all sweaty. So we had a dinner. She was all sweaty because she had to walk. I don't know how long, maybe 15, 20 minutes, but it was summer. She had two kids in a stroller and she had to walk. She doesn't have a car, no driver's license. By the way, side note, for those of you who are looking to marry a girl from Eastern Europe, if you do not buy her a vehicle, doesn't have to be a fancy vehicle, but if you do not help her with documents and you do not buy her a vehicle, um, it's considered actually as abuse. She can go and complain and you will be in trouble. Because when you sign affidavit of support, you promise to provide her essentials. And in United States, for a big huge part of the country, it's a country, right? We can't be here without the car. I would love to have an option of having subway, having some actual transportation in case if something goes wrong with the car. But for us here living in the suburbs, we need a car. So these ladies, they just don't know that, especially the Filipino one. She I just really feel for her, because if something happens with your husband tomorrow, what she is going to do? She doesn't know how to drive, she doesn't speak the language very well. I'm pretty sure he keeps your financial stuff away from her. You guys need to realize that your wife is not a slave. It's in an equal. You may have different roles at different times, but she's an equal to you. And if you invite her in her life and you trust her enough, she needs to know how to manage things. Because imagine if something happens to you, she's going through the heartbreak, she's going through tremendous shock and stress of that, and she doesn't know where anything is. She cannot drive, she doesn't have documents, she doesn't have license, she doesn't maybe know how to write a check. I knew one lady here in town, she didn't know how to put gas in her vehicle. So I think love is not control, love is not taking away freedom from someone, and we can do better than that. So I truly hope that for the girls that had requested this video, um, I truly hope that you have a conversation, and I think you may have to ask a professional person to help you, because your husband may not be that excited to change things. I don't think any fighting or arguing or anything like this is required, to just be able to sit down and talk, and just probably have a third person if necessary, but just being able to have a conversation. Sometimes when we are in a relationship with somebody, we totally forget that that other person is also a human being. you know we forget, we look at them as some kind of attachment to us, as like a second role, as whatever else it is. We forget that this other person is a human being as well. Sometimes we need to separate and look, separate now mind and just realize, oh my god, and so as ladies, I am huge advocate for men. I have been seeing a lot of things that's going on here in the West, and the way often men get treated, and the things that they sometimes they get completely destroyed. But I would just say this: there is a way to have a conversation. You know, you have to be best friends. You have to get to know the person and know that you're on the same uh you look at the life very, you know, you look at life in the same direction. You know, you are mm, you have a lot in common, you know. Oh, I have another horror story. Not gonna say who it is because a friend shared with me. Another marriage with a foreign lady, you know, great relationship, couple years together. He spoils her. She's also you know, from it, you know, it doesn't really matter from where you're from, just a feminine lady, you know, very feminine, very sweet. They having a great time, they're dating. She lived in Canada for a while, and then she comes to United States, and um her green card gets approved, and on the day of her green card approval, her husband calls to the embassy and says, you know what, cancel it, I want to cancel. Dear gentlemen, if you want to torture somebody, if you want to, if you have this anger and control, please go and see somebody, see a psychiatrist. There is nothing wrong, we all have trauma, and sometimes, you know, you're trying to hurt somebody because you have trauma. But please do not do that to somebody else. Anybody who understands what it is when you went through this process of several years going back and forth, and you go to, it's an exciting moment. I can't even imagine. So friend told me this story about her close friend, that she, you know, she went to embassy, and she's excited, she's, you know, to the immigration office, and she's excited to get her green card, and her green card get approved. And as she is sitting there and talking to the officers, they get a call, and her husband is like, you know what, I want to cancel it, I'm canceling this green card, please cancel. I mean, you might as well just take a knife and stick it into her heart, you know, pretty much. It's a shock. It's really hard to explain. I know I have a lot of people that are local, but just please understand that it's very, imagine yourself being in another country, you're trying to get legal, and you know, if you're not happy with somebody, you can tell them prior to all of that. um and you know, this poor woman, she works so hard, she's working so hard, she's about to get her hard earned you know, green card herself. Now it just, it's about power and control. And let's not turn people who love into victims and into slaves. They are so much more than that. If you change your mind, you can still be a person with dignity and do it the right way. You know, there is nothing wrong. You can change your mind, but don't step somebody in the back. So I'm gonna read some messages. Thank you for trying to get comfortable, guys. Don't mean to be so close to the camera, but very sad. Yeah, I know. It is very sad. John is saying, very sad, Veronica. I would love to be that far and could not imagine canceling. I know. You know, even if you have, you know, not so great relationship, but she's a good person, or even, I don't, it's just like, it's the same as reporting somebody to the police and throwing them to jail or something like that. I mean, that is crazy. You know, you can work something out. You know, I had ups and downs in my marriage, but there was not ever a question. You know, my husband was praying, he was waiting for the day when I get my documents. He could not imagine, well, he could not imagine anybody else to, you know, raise our child. And we had some very hard moments in our marriage. That's why I'm making these videos, because I can relate to many of the experiences. And it could not even, man, in my wildest dreams, and in his wildest dreams, that could never even been a thought, because um people can decide things in between. The moment you want to involve government or court, or especially federal government or immigration in your relationship, you know it's going to be a mess. We are capable human beings. If we love somebody, or we loved somebody, or we have a child with somebody, how can you destroy that person? Whether you're trying to destroy your wife or hurt her, or when a woman tries to destroy her husband, how in the world that is even a thought? You can separate, you can do whatever you want to do, but how can you destroy somebody you had once loved, or maybe you still love? If you have problems with control, you need to see a specialist. And a lot of men going for a foreign wife for with the wrong reasons. A lot of men going for a foreign wife because they feel like, or I mean, some men going with an open heart. They're just looking for a wife, whether she's foreign or domestic. It doesn't matter. They're just looking for love. But some men feel that they could take advantage of women from other countries because they don't know the law over here. They don't know the rules, and they're easily controllable because they are not established here. And they feel like, you have no idea, guys, how many times I have a consultation and the man on the phone would ask me basically that they want a maid. So, when you want to use somebody, don't be surprised when somebody going to use you. So, we are human, first of all, right? Oh man, my cold is coming back, guys. I'm not gonna try to stay for much longer, man. I need some Jack Daniels, my best medication. Oh man, let me read some more comments. Yes, wherever you find a wife, wherever part of the world you find somebody, make sure you do this for the right reasons. That maybe you resonate with traditional values more, or you want somebody, maybe you're attracted to particular kind of ladies, but don't try to marry somebody because you can be able to control somebody, and they will be a desperate housewife, right? Jack Daniels, man, I've been sick as a dog or as a cat. Jack Daniels, I like Jack Daniels Gentleman, or it's like double smooth. It's my medication in winter. Or um honey. I think it's Jack Daniels honey, not fire. But anyway, yeah, I need some medication right now, man. I'm dying. Thank you. Long story short, for the super chat. In Midwest, not only a car but a minivan SUV. Right, right, because you're gonna be driving stuff around. If your kid have any activities, or yeah, I mean, for sure, for sure. So you have to assume responsibilities, and I want to believe that most people, when they decide to connect their destiny with somebody, they come in from, with the best intentions, and in their heart and mind, that they really wishing the best. And sometimes, unfortunately, human nature is such that when you feel you can control somebody, your worst is coming out, worst of your personality. They actually made this experiment where this lady had agreed for experiment. There were people in the room, and they said you can do anything to her, like anything. You can hug her, you can, you can caress her, you can kiss her, like you can do anything to her. It's nothing sexual, it's just an experiment, what people would do. And guess what, they were told that they could do anything, right? So some people hugged her and kissed her, but some people took, she got cuts and she got bruises. So some people did hurt her. Sometimes when you have power, your true nasty qualities are coming out. And I think it's really important to ask those who depend on us, for us, ladies, it's sometimes our children, maybe our younger siblings, to ask them, do you feel okay? Um, is there anything that I could do? Because sometimes we don't realize how much um, control is suffocating. Control is suffocating, and people, when they get power, things you would never expect can come out. So that's why, when power goes to people like this, that's why we're having all this mess we have right now. That's another topic. But because people becoming ugly, they were ugly to begin with, but you just didn't know because they didn't have power. And then again, when power goes to the right people, they create good things. They create organizations, to make things better. They use their money to donate to a good cause. They make things to make this world a better place. So money, not a bad thing. It's a tool. Some people will use it for themselves and for others to prosper and blossom, and others will use money for drugs and destruction and crime. Will create crime and crime scenes and drugs and all of that stuff. We can see that, and abuse, and using people, abusing them. So yeah, it's just really awful. Well, in this situation, there is nothing. It's not a physical thing, but or physical abuse. But I just think that, why to hurt the person that you love? Why not to talk? Why not to have a conversation and at least try to step in their shoes? Because one day your connection, your love will die because you have so much resentment towards the other person. You know how it is when you love somebody and then you have more and more and more resentment, that eventually it's over, right? So anyway, let me read some of your comments. Yeah, it's unbelievable inside. I know. I saw that experiment on TV when they, this lady, it was an official experiment, and she ended up with some people did terrible things to her. I mean, it was not like horrible like a crime, but they hurt her for no reason. It was a beautiful young woman. Terrible. So, uh, Veronica, you're correct. A human cannot be controlled like a robot. I have seen people that can dance like a robot. I know, Joshua. If you marry someone from a different language, culture, it is your responsibility to help them to get into the swing of things, not take advantage of them. Yes, yes, Northern USA, 100%. Um, this is a critical topic. Ever since I can remember, some American guys have looked to the Slavic countries with the worst intentions as far as obtaining a mate. It is disgusting. I agree. I received a letter from somebody who told me, Veronica, I cannot go to the doctor. I cannot go anywhere by myself. He always with me. Always, always, always. It's like I am not a person, I'm an attachment. Or I told to a friend of mine that, it's like you have a parent, I mean, we love our parents, but the fun part about growing up is that you can go and do your thing. You can go wear what you want to wear. You can travel what you want to travel, and you can live life on your terms. When you give up your parents' support, you gain control over your life. And when your husband he kind of becoming like your parent. He does not allow you to leave the house. The budget, you can't, the budget is not allowing you to enjoy anything that you would like to enjoy for yourself. Basically, I told her, I feel like, one of my friends who is in a similar situation, like, I feel like you are living at your parents' house again, when you have to obey the rules because you're not making money, so you have to obey certain rules, right? And she said, yes, except it's worse. It's worse because with the parents, I will grow up and live. With my husband, I want to live with him. I don't want to leave him, right? So anyway, that's what I would like to share with you guys. Just a second. Oh, somebody. Oh, thank you for the Cash App, Jason. Thank you so much for the Cash App. He says for the shot of whiskey. Thank you so much, man. I need something. Yeah, picking a stable person, sane person always works. Yes, I agree, Marco. You can agree with a person on everything as long as they are not showing this like wild demands on you. Yeah, it's a total control, in financial way, in all the ways. Yes. Let me read some more email, some more messages. Thank you guys. Hello, Leo. Love her and take care of her and understand her what she needs without her asking you. Leo, you got that one down. That's for sure. Hello, Mona. Exactly, it could start working even part time. It's in this particular case, husband could be happy that she's making money too. Yes, if you want to control her, if she cannot have your fun money, your silly, little expenses, then at least let her work. So you're not letting her work, everything is expensive, and you're not supporting her. I mean, it doesn't, I mean, you don't let her, you don't give you um, money to spend, and you don't let her work. I mean, you gotta pick your struggle, you gotta pick your battle. You can't have everything like that. That's terrible, honestly. Hello, Jeanette. Hello, Yelena. Joshua. Hannibal, can you please change your name? I cannot read your comments because I don't want to say this. It sounds weird. We have enough of weird stuff going on. I don't want to call somebody Hannibal. Or maybe it's a cannibal. What I'm thinking, but I don't know. It kind of gives me a bad association. So, okay. It's nice to know that you are with somebody because um they want to be with you, and they are with you for their free will, right? Rather than be with somebody and knowing that they're unhappy, they're suffering. Controlling somebody is never will never bring you true satisfaction. It's just, and it will cause you to lose a relationship, because in the end they're gonna get fed up. One day they're gonna knock on the door, or break the door, break the chains, and run away. And it happens to men too. A lot of men also, we're talking about women today, but a lot of men also, get trapped sometimes in certain situations, and that's a whole another topic. We'll talk about the two. It applies to both sides, but today we're talking about this particular thing because a lot of people watching my channel, they are learning about Eastern European culture, about femininity and masculinity dynamics. um and I just want to bring this up. If you think that you're going to marry somebody from another country so you can dominate them and take full control of them, you don't need to be married. First of all, you can just hire somebody for a couple hours and do all kinds of weird stuff, but don't make somebody suffer and have a child. You know what I mean? Don't think that people from other countries are somehow less human than you are, right? Yelena sharing something. Hey, Yelena. um I stopped by because this topic sounded interesting. Dominant women can do this, handpicked men too. We only have this happen because we let it, whether we are male or female. Yeah, like, thank you, Yelena. Yeah, it's true, but I'm talking about ladies because once in a while, I'd be honest with you, I haven't really seen a lot of like true abuse, but even in the Russian Ukrainian community, I would meet ladies who I couldn't tell this like something like awful, but physical or violent, but it's just like kind of like a mental abuse. You cannot go, you cannot see nobody. It's like you're on a chain, you chained to your house. Don't do that. The person that wants to cheat, the woman that wants to do something like this, it's first of all, it's out of the question in those cases, because you can take a look at some of those ladies. You can say that they're so happy to be married and have a husband, but the person who's trying to cheat, they don't have to cheat in the evening. They can do it in the morning. You can't control somebody. mm. When the person wants to do something, they're gonna do it regardless. And if you don't have trust, you don't have a relationship. Well, the case we were talking about, she has two children. But anyway, don't make your wife to be a desperate housewife in a bad way. I just thought about this desperate housewives, and your wife is not a slave. uh you can benefit so much more of having a woman that is full of joy. She's enjoying what she does. Maybe she works full time, maybe she's a mom full time. But no, whatever it is, let her blossom, let her have great experiences, because women have a way of sharing their emotions, project all the positivity, and it's wonderful to see another complete happy person in a relationship. Just because she's in your power, you know everything and she's new, it doesn't mean that this will be always like this. Remember, tables can turn. You can lose your job. You may go travel to see her family and stay there for half a year. She can also leave you without speaking language in the middle of the street. She can pay you back just to tell you, hey, how this feels. And it shouldn't be a game or a competition. There's no time for this. Life is so short. So you, oops, one of my lights went out. uh, Life is so short. Why to make all of these issues when um you can just be enjoying and getting to know each other and asking, if you should compete for anything, you should compete on how to make your life more amazing. Right? I think true love is when you're competing who is doing the next amazing thing for each other. From my own experience, the most incredible relationship is when you both competing how to make each other more, like, how make each other's experience better. How can you do better what you do, how you can be more attentive, how you can be better listener, better providers, better husband, and so on and so forth. I think the true love is a competition on how every person can make something better for the other one. You know. Sometimes you're controlling and you're not aware of it. So when somebody tells you that they are hurting or it's not satisfying for them, listen to them. You may be in denial, or you don't need to go out. you you know you write off your social rights. You took that down, you took that off, you scratched that off, and you married me. What are you talking about? You have kids, you don't need no social life. Forget about that one. you know I'm joking. Yes, but anyway, I hope that just a second, guys. I have another cash app. Thank you so much. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you, John. Oh, okay. You watching while driving? Thank you. And he says, get better soon. Thank you. I hope so. I'm sorry, guys. It is what it is. Yes, I will try. Thank you so much for the cash app. I appreciate that. So Anyway, that's what I want to share with you guys. Let's not to forget that we are human beings. Our friends and partners are not our slaves. We need to give people space. And if you know that somebody is not happy, things are not quite good, just have a conversation. It's not about having a personal attack. It's not about hurting somebody, but um it's about finding happy medium, sometimes compromising, trying to listen to the other person. There is no point to have control. We are living in the 21st century. We are way past slavery all over the world, not only United States, but slavery was in most countries in this world. We are past the slavery time, right? We are past the, I mean, that is ridiculous. When somebody losing their personality, when somebody losing their spark, their joy, when they're constantly exhausted, especially the woman who is exhausted and trapped, she can never give you that inspiration, that joy, that she used to when you met her, right? So consider that. It's nice to know that somebody is with you because they want to be with you. And when you hold somebody, when you trap somebody and control them, you make it very hard to love you, because whether they want it or not, they will be building resentment toward you, and one day it will blow up. One day this girl will look and realize, all of my friends, going out on the girls trips, she does not want to know girl trip. She doesn't want it. She wants to come back to her home, but she wants to be able to do some activities out of the house, to be able to socialize and feel like a human being. One day she will get sick and tired that she cannot go get her hair and get her nails, and just little things, just small things. If you tell a woman that everything is expensive, you should either let her work or cut on your own expenses, right? You have to at least to be able to provide the level she had. I mean, if you're convinced it's too expensive, um what you were thinking when you were getting married, you thought it's gonna get cheaper. It's just so discouraging. If somebody would tell me something like that, it's too expensive, I'll be thinking to myself, well, I never told you that I was cheap, first of all. And I would told you it's going to be cheap. Number one. Number two, when are you gonna babysit the children? Because I don't want to hear that. You can save on everything, save on matches and little, little tiny things, or you can just create more money. You can create more abundance. You can cut some. I mean, you can figure this out. When it comes to simple things and even bigger things, if it's some things that will change your life and make it better, you cannot keep saying that. And she wanted to go to school, she wanted to go to study, and guess what he told her? He also told her, oh, you want to go to study? Oh, school is too expensive. So everything expensive. Making hair, expensive. Making nails, expensive. Going out for 3 days vacation is expensive. Going to school is expensive. Even though if she goes to school, well, depends what it is. Um, she it can pay back anyway. Come on. And if you're gonna be like this, be honest from the beginning. If she loves you that much that she doesn't care about this, be honest from the beginning what you expect from her, right? Then you can have a plan, right? I don't know, guys. What do you think? Then you can have a plan. What you're gonna do. To me, honestly, if I would be a guy, if I would be, if I would be in that situation, if in a providing situation, it's kind of hard to say it's kind of so embarrassing, and it's so low life to tell the woman you love that, go, once a month do your hair is expensive. When you live in a, $400,000 home, it's almost like you brought yourself a maid. It's not okay, right? Your wife is not a maid. She's not a slave, and you can take pride at home. You can always create more ways of income. Oh, thank you for the super chat. I'm gonna go get myself some tea with lemon and some Jack Daniels. Sorry guys for my little nasal sound today. I don't know what the hell I got, but this weekend wasn't as fun as I was hoping. But not complaining. It's not the Rona, so we're good. Looking beautiful as always. Well, thank you, Ripple Effect. I appreciate it. Thank you for the compliment and for the super chat. Marcus saying, that's why I'm going to marry a sugar mama, so she can pay both our expenses and I won't have to tell her something is too expensive. That's a good idea, Marco. Let me know how that will work out for you. I'm sure you will find joy. Hey, that's a sock. But she may be controlling, and she may tell you that's too expensive too. She may say, nope, you can't put gas in your car. It's too luxurious. You should walk. It's good for you. Nope. You will go to a thrift store. Right? Any last thoughts or ideas or experiences you want to share, guys? I can't sleep anyway because I can't breathe. Are Ukrainian women feminists? Would like to date one? Well, date one and find out, Tom. You're obviously new on this channel. If Ukrainian women would be feminists, do you think they would be so highly desirable all over the world? You should look through my content. You can get an idea, but the best idea, go and check for yourself and tell me what you find out, honey. Right? Because everybody who watches this channel knows what? That most of Ukrainian women are traditional and they want to have traditional marriage. And that's why they're often looking abroad. Yes, you are new to my channel. Well, welcome then. Yes, you can, if you want to find, you can, I'm sorry guys, I'm just trying to get comfortable. You can search in my content. You can put a video of why Ukrainian women will never be feminists, and check out that video and other 998 videos. You may find it helpful. Welcome. How did you find my channel, Tom? Oh, thank you, Ripple Effect. Get well soon, beautiful. I'm gonna try. Thank you. Thank you. I need some Jack Daniels. Actually, my favorite. So last winter, I discovered I think Jack. No. Jack Daniels Gentleman. No, Gentleman Jack. Double smooth. Oh my god. It's just so good. I'm not an alcoholic, so so one shot or two shots, it's enough. In our winters, you gotta have something, and instead of having NyQuil, it's terrible for you. You can have a shot of Jack Daniels, or you can make tea. I think they call it hot toddy. You make tea, you put some lemon, and you put some, like, probably half a shot of whiskey. Man, that sounds really good. It's really weird to have a cold, really bad cold, when Michigan feels like Florida right now. It's crazy. It's so uncomfortable. It is so hot. Oh, man. If I needed to be hot, I'll fly to Florida. Stop this. If I needed to be that hot, I can fly to Florida. Okay? Stop. Normal weather, please. Anyway, I'm just kidding, guys. Let me read some. Uh, oh, light is back. Light is back. When is the best time to go to Ukraine? It depends what time you like. Somebody said avoid winter, but winter is really, it can be snowy and cold, but winter is really fun for Christmas and New Year's holidays. Some of our best holidays was in Ukraine. But if you want it to be easy, probably spring, summer, and fall. Spring, summer, and fall. You know, intercultural dating is fun when you willing to learn, and you know, you can't only expect things from the other person. You know, a lot of men go into traditional relationships or looking for different cultures, or you know, they're looking for family women either here in US or abroad. But one thing that they forget is, if you want a traditional woman, you need to be a traditional man. A lot of men want to do what they would do in a 50-50 relationship, so-called equal relationship, but they expect for a woman to be feminine and, you know, nurturing and all of these beautiful things, but they want to do the minimum, they want to do the least, or they want to have full control and, you know, cancel green card, or, you know, don't allow you to get out, to go out of the house, or don't allow you to get driver's license. That is truly abuse, right? But if you want to have a feminine woman, you need to be a masculine man. If you want, Leos, thank you. If you want, yeah, I don't know where my everything is, so oh, thank you. If you want to have a beautiful traditional woman, you better be traditional man, because once again, a lot of guys, they want to do the minimum, they don't want to learn the etiquette, they don't want to learn the manners, they do not want to learn and be a provider, but they want a woman, a lady who will be feminine and um traditional, right? Oh guys, I need my napkins, I'm starting to cry. Oh man, sorry, can't help it. Hey Bill, could you please post some of my stuff? Just a moment. Can you please post my God, I'm crying. Sorry guys. Um can you please post my email, my Patreon, and all of my other information, because we have to close up. It's getting late and it's time for me to get something. It's time for me to get a traditional tea with lemon and some something hot. Man, thank you guys. I left my purse with all of my gear. You know, it's really weird. When I get sick, I can only handle a couple hours, maybe half of a day, to be, you know, looking bad. Then I have to take a shower, I have to do my hair, I have to do my eyelashes, I have to put my lipstick on, because I cannot stand, you know, being, and this is one thing if you want to learn about Ukrainian women, we do not like to, you know, be unkept and looking bad, even if you have fever, even if you have sniffles, Even if we have a cold, we still want to, because when you get yourself together, even if you don't feel well, you're gonna feel a little bit better, right? Because it will, if you put like medications and some, this is why I hated wearing masks, because it looks like everybody is sick. You know what I mean? It looks like everybody is sick, even like, so this is something that feminine women do. Even if we are about to die, we're still gonna do our hair and our lip gloss and our eyelashes. Because when you look better, it triggers your mind to feel better. So yes, thank you so much. Yes, this is my email, consultveronica@gmail.com. Yes, if you want to request a topic or share something, you can do it to add for the Cash app. You can request a topic and support the channel if you like. It's $Veronica Olson 777. Oh, thank you, Tom. Tom is saying I'm subscribed. Welcome. Thank you and welcome. Yes, I'm gonna rub myself in some for Christmas cold but fun. I mean, Christmas, who does warm Christmas anyway? For us, growing up in the snow on Christmas, this is weird. You gotta have some snow, you gotta have some fun. Hey, get yourself a pair and get to Ukraine in winter too. It's a lot of fun. If you need a fur coat, I'll put a link below. I do have some furs. Some of you guys know I have a fur boutique. So, guys, I gotta go take care of this situation, so we're not gonna be dripping next time. Thank you so much for joining. Yes, you can join my Patreon. I'm gonna be posting some fun stuff this weekend. This weekend is over. Sorry guys, I was going to do some stuff this week, but I couldn't do it. Man, it was not a great situation, but I will post some entertaining stuff and some recommendations, and also some things only for Patreons, and some videos that I take down here, they all go to Patreon. So if you want to support the channel, please join the Patreon. The link is here and I'll post one underneath. Thank you so much for joining. Let's not to be controlling. Let's not turn people into slaves or maids. Let's give love and respect to each other, because we had fallen in love with a person that was whole in the very beginning, right? Yes, we need some Jack Daniels delivered, number one. We fall in love with a whole person, whether it is a man or a woman. We fall in love with a whole person. Why to destroy that whole, complete, beautiful, shiny, confident, loving human being? Why not to make things better and brighter instead? With that being said, my dear friends, I want to wish you a wonderful night. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for the cash apps, for super chats, for wonderful comments, for thumbs up. Please help us to grow this channel. It's time to grow a little bit. So share with your friends. You can send me ideas for discussions. Thank you for those who just joined Patreon. And thank you for new subscribers who hop on live stream. So welcome Tom and everybody else who is new. So from Michigan with love, bye everyone and have a wonderful night.